Interesting headline now for you about what might lead to divorce. For a long time, conventional wisdom has said that it has to do with chores. Taking out the garbage, cleaning up the dishes, and that all of that leads to arguments, which in turn can then lead to a rupture in the marriage. Well, there's a new study out that shows that, in fact, it has more to do with men who have full-time jobs and men who do not have full-time jobs, and how that difference can make a difference when it comes to divorce. Alexandra Killewald is a professor of sociology at Harvard University and the author of this study. She joins us now from Cambridge, Massachusetts. Hello, Alexandra. Good morning to you.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So what did you guys find out here about the possible causes of divorce as it has to do with the husband having a job or not?
That's right. So the husband not having a full-time job, that's what's associated with an increase in the risk of divorce. As you already mentioned, how the couple divides the housework doesn't appear to be a big predictor.
So if the husband does not have a full-time job, there is a correlation between that and divorce. Do we know why? Is it because he's around too much?
So one of the limitations of quantitative research is it's sometimes kind of hard to get into those details of exactly why this is happening. But I can say that it's not because of the loss of income in the household. So that association holds up even after you adjust for any changes in family income.
So that's interesting. It doesn't have to do with the stressors of not having money.
Right.
The economic factor, though, do we know anything about how that plays into it, maybe bigger picture?
Can you tell me more what you mean by that?
In other words, it doesn't necessarily have to do with the actual money that he's pulling in, but the fact that he's not working. There's an economic impact on the family. There's also a psychological impact perhaps on the family as well. How does that all work into this?
That's right. So again, the money just doesn't seem to be the most important thing. The total household income or even how much he's earning, those things aren't associated with the risk of divorce. Also, the ability of the partners to support themselves if they did get divorced. That isn't really a predictor of divorce. It's really about the work itself, whether he's in that full-time job or not.
Are there any implications for sort of what we've come to call work-life balance in all of this? Any takeaways?
One of the things that I think is surprising or perhaps an indicator of progress in this study is that for these couples who married since 1975, again, how they divide the chores and whether the wife is employed or not, those things aren't associated with the risk of divorce. And so I think it suggests that couples can combine paid and unpaid work in a variety of ways and still have a healthy marriage. For women in particular, there's an expansion of the opportunities. For men, it seems like that traditional breadwinner role is still associated with greater marital stability.
One other thing, Alexandra, I'm curious about as well is whether we've seen a change over time in some of these findings.
Yes, that's exactly right. So I compared couples who were married in 1975 or later with those married before 1975, back towards mid-century. And for those early married couples, the wife doing more of the housework was associated with lower risk of divorce. And that's not true anymore. So again, this is, I think, an indicator of progress that it used to be that wife homemaker role may have been helping marriages stay together, not anymore.
Alexandra, great to have you on CTV. We appreciate you coming on the program this morning.
Thank you so much.